Our opening words today come from Max Kutz. When love is felt or fear is known, when holidays and holy days and such times come, when seasons come, as seasons do, old and known, but somehow new, when lives are born and people die. Mark the time. Respond with thought or prayer or smile or grief. For all these are holy things we will not, cannot find again. Please stand as you're willing and able and join us in our opening hymn, number 1 in your gray hymnal, May Nothing Evil Cross This Door. All right, let us remain standing while we light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. And tonight, we will also light a candle for the 5th night of Hanukkah. Whoop. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Please join me in saying our covenant, which is up on the screens. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. If you are young or just young at heart, please feel free to join me up front for our Wonder Box. until we figure that out, I'm going to talk really loud. Yeah. Exactly.
I think this might work.
Hello?
No?
No. No. I know. That's okay. We're rolling with it this morning. Can someone come up and open our Wonder Box? Yeah. What do you see in there? A bunch of markers, yes. So we are going to be doing some coloring and writing this morning because today is our burning of the Grudges ceremony. And what that really means is that all of us, have a lot of feelings to process after this year. And so I want to talk a little bit about how we process feelings. Do you ever feel big feelings that you feel like you need to get out? I know I do. I feel mad sometimes, or sad. Do you have other examples? Impatient. Yeah, sometimes feel lonely. Yeah.
Nothing to echo is, but unloved.
Unloved. That's something a lot of people can feel. Yeah. What's another big feeling people can feel throughout the year? Maybe it's not one you feel right now, but what did you say?
Happiness.
Happiness. That's a great one. Yes. Joyful. Absolutely. So, what we're going to do sometimes when we're feeling these big feelings, one great way to get it out is by writing or drawing them. So, is anyone willing to go take a marker to that piece of paper and sketch out something that they feel is joyful or sad or mad? No? That's okay. I'm going to go over. This is my first service all alone, so I'm a little scared. How should I draw scared? Maybe right in the face. It's a little surprise, maybe.
I can draw scared.
You can draw scared? Okay, great. There we go. That was pretty scary. Yeah. Little. Perfect. And do you have another? Can you tell us what this is?
You know that picture that's called
The scream, yeah. That does look like the scream, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Are there any other emotion that would help to draw to get out sometimes? Yeah, do you want to? Sure. Oh, yeah. Can you tell us what this emotion is? I'm feeling some anger, some rage from that. Oh, hold it up. There you go. Does anyone else have a big emotion that they would want to write down? It's okay if you don't. I just want to say this is one good way if we have big emotions. One good way that we can deal with them and process them is through drawing and through writing. One more?
Can I put a speech bubble because it's hard to express with just a
Go ahead. Do a speech bubble. Is there another way that you have that you process your big emotions? Sometimes I have to Now is a time of prayer, of coming in closer to ourself, dropping down deeper, putting our feet on the ground, and taking a deep breath. Hold yourself in this silence and stillness for our prayer hymn, Spirit of Life. A prayer this morning for the Goldstein family, Matt, Lila, Valerie, and Violet, who tragically passed on Christmas Day. Prayers and thoughts for their family who've been struggling this week. A prayer for Peter, beloved father and grandfather and brother who passed away on Christmas Eve. A prayer for the world from Dawn, for all those whose safety net is going to be ripped away. We light a candle now for our loved ones. And a prayer for the world. Next, our prayers of thanksgiving, a prayer for Mary Ann, for my family being together in joy, letting go of previous losses. We light a prayer for thanksgiving. Please join me now. Spirit of life, that which has no names and many names, we are gathered here together at the end of such a long year, called to be together in community with each other. We have felt so much, gained so much, and lost so much together. Be with us as we unpack all that has happened in the last 365 days as we prepare for another, even more complex 365 days. Here in this space, we are gathered to hold ourselves to our values and to remind each other and ourselves of those hopes and the dreams of possibilities and the possible better world. We are called to weave together this web of community. May we pause here in our silence and lift up a blessing, a joy, no matter how small, that has touched our lives this week, this month, this year, something we can carry forward. May our shared silence be a blessing to our hearts, a blessing on this community, and may these blessings extend outward to grace the wider world. Let us be held together in this silence.
Our reading this morning is called Release, and it's by Peter Friedrichs. I wish I were like the trees who let their leaves go gracefully without regret, or the tumbling stream that flushes silt to sea, exchanging murkiness for blessed clarity, or the dandelion who bows its head to the subtle breeze, unleashing its future without fear or loss. Instead, I drive white-knuckled, defensive, as we were taught, tense and guarded for what may come my way. I keep a death grip on my life. If you asked me for my dying wish, it would not be for 10 more wishes. It would be to let go of wishing any more, wishing I'd made different choices and that I hadn't hurt you as I did, and to forgo these old and dusty grudges that I keep like pictures in a shoebox beside my bed. I long to embrace my life with a lover's touch, or as you would an injured wren, precious, tender, true. Instead, regret and fear, twin anchors, hold me fast, close in against the shore. Cast off, I hear them call from the open, exotic lands my heart yearns for. But the waters in between my here and theirs hold unknown hazards, unlike this dark, familiar port. This day, a prayer to ease my grip on what once was or what is meant to be, that I may find myself content to drift and float upon life's boundless sea.
We are so lucky every week to be able to give away 100% of our offering. This week's offering is going to More Than Words, which is a Massachusetts-based nonprofit that trains youth ages 16 to 24. I'll just read what they had on their website. Here, youth ages 16 to 24 who are in foster care, homeless, out of school, or in the court system learn to run an online and retail bookstore, while also getting full wraparound support to tackle the barriers from our state system and take charge of their lives. This is an organization that my wife and I have personally given to many times. We think it's a great system. They stand with youth at court hearings. They help them look for housing. They help them with job training and career coaching. And they also accept donations of books and clothing if you are looking to give away some books and clothing at the end of the year, some end-of-year house cleaning. I encourage you to be generous in your donations to help these youth, to help More Than Words in their mission. You can use the QR code that'll be up on the screen or in your order of service, or you can give money or check in the boxes that are coming by. Thank you. Your offer will now be generously received. So, we have come together to burn our grudges. I have been learning a lot about feelings since having a kid. There's been a fun new development in my household where sometimes my daughter is 2 and she needs to eat dinner at 6. And if we've waited a little bit too long, or if she has to leave a really fun activity, she screams. She screams. We sit her down at the table, and she will just scream instead of eating the food that's right in front of her. And as you can imagine, this is heartbreaking for my wife and I, and incredibly frustrating. I will think to myself, the food is right there. If you just ate it, you would feel better. And I know how to fix this problem, and she knows that the food's there because she's throwing it. And so we console her, and we comfort her, and we try to bribe her with string cheese. But despite it all, she'll sometimes keep this up for 10 or 15 minutes. And then finally, she'll catch her breath, pick up her fork or her string cheese, and start eating dinner just happy as a clam. And it's exasperating. As a parent, if you just did the right thing, if you did the thing I'm asking you to do, you would feel better, I think, as if she were some machine with basic inputs and outputs. And unfortunately, being a person is so much more complicated than that. It takes so much time and so much energy to process our emotions and to get to the place that we need to get to. Sometimes we just need to scream. Get it all out before we can move forward. Which would be fine, except that being a person means having feelings all the time. And that is a lot to process, like constantly. And I don't know about you, but I don't always know how to get from the feeling stage to the moving forward stage. There's a crucial processing step in between that I sometimes feel like I'm missing. My daughter gets it, though. It comes very naturally for her. She screams or cries, or she colors about it. She moves her body around. It's not always so easy for my wife and I. When we feel something, it can feel like sometimes it gets stuck if it feels particularly unpleasant. For me, it's often like a weight in my gut. Do you ever feel that? When I hold on to a feeling, maybe consciously or unconsciously, sometimes we can push our feelings down and try to ignore them, which remarkably never seems to work no matter how many times we try it. As Peter Fredericks wrote in our reading today, even when we long for a life where we can let go of our wishing and our grudges, regret and fear, twin anchors, hold me fast, close in against the shore. Cast off, I hear them call from the open, exotic lands that my heart yearns for. But the waters in between my here and theirs hold unknown hazards, unlike this dark, familiar port. Our dark ports of grudges and wishings and if-onlys are so uncomfortable, and they're so draining, and yet we often stick with them because they feel so much more manageable. Those unknown waters, that yawning gap between our feelings and moving forward with them, can be so hard to cast off. So my question to you this morning is this. My questions. What are your dark ports? What are you holding on to that is no longer serving you? What do you need to process from this year and to let go? Cast off. Because we can't move forward in a healthy way without dealing with the things that we are holding onto. And there is a lot that we all need to process right now. Maybe it is something for you, something from this week, because as joyful as Christmas can be, for many it is not an easy holiday. Being with family can be so hard. Being without family can be devastating. Many of us are still reeling from the election a month and a half ago and all of the fallout since then and all of the anticipated chaos to come. We might be processing a relationship or a financial loss, a health issue, the health of a family or friend, a habit you can't seem to break. We might be in mourning. This community has been rocked by losses over the past year. And maybe it is a grudge that you still hold on to, even though it no longer serves you. Jealousy or regret or fear. There's so many. And maybe what you're feeling isn't from this year at all. And that's what today is for. It's for processing, for letting go, if we can, of what is holding us back. Or at least for starting that journey, if we have the energy. To finally pick up our metaphorical fork and string cheese and do what needs to be done in the new year. And dealing with our feelings sometimes requires a lot of quiet contemplation. And sometimes we just need to burn something. So that's what we're doing today. Because this is not a day of easy emotions, but it is a time for rage and wells of sadness and fear and heartache and loneliness and unspoken thoughts. This service is called the burning of the grudges, and grudges are not easy or nice. So what do you just want to scream about? What do you need to move forward? We're going to be putting as much of that as you can or are willing to on your paper. Write it or draw it, and we will set it ablaze, letting go of what we do not want to carry into the new year. May we drop our anchors and finally sail out of our dark ports. So now comes the time for our ritual. As you enter the sanctuary this morning, you're each given a piece of flash paper and something to write with. If you are sitting next to someone who was not able to get a piece of flash paper, please, I encourage you to share, tear it in half, like so. On this piece of paper, I invite you to write something, a word or a phrase that you want to release with the end of 2024. It could be an experience you had that you don't want to carry forward, a regret, a habit you want to clear out. I invite you to write that now. I don't have the microphones, can you hear me back there? Yeah. Wonderful. So, this is flash paper, also known as magician's paper. It is safe, but it is also very flammable. It will burn without ash or smoke, but it will burn very quickly. So I recommend that you fold it a few times, and once it catches, let go of the paper immediately, and it should all burn up before your eyes. Voila. I now invite each of you to come forward, please, one at a time as you come forward up the aisles to burn your grudges this year, symbolic of the release that you want to release from this year, the anchors you want to cast off to move forward into those unknown waters of the next year. Please come forward. Just let go as soon as it catches. There it goes. Perfect. Yeah. There you go. Ooh.
That was a big one.
Good job. Right? Yeah. Doesn't that feel good? Yeah. Didn't that feel good? Yeah. Yeah. Join me now for a blessing of this burning of grudges. Spirit of life and renewal, returning year after year to the same day, returning week after week to the same place, inviting us back to the home of our souls, pushing us toward growth, exploration, learning, and change. Help us remember that it takes practice and ritual sometimes to let go, to forgive ourselves and to forgive others, to begin again, to be the people that we say we want to be. Deliver us from the false belief that we only have to do it once, and grant us loving companions to hold us to our intentions. Spirit of life and renewal, help us to remember that we release these things in order that we may experience newness. Because we know that new things might be revealed to each of us, and every day new knowledge, new wonder, new tenderness, new love as we enter into this new year. We pray for open hearts and minds, open to a new world that we will encounter, and the new ways that we might live in that world. That we might live with purpose and intention, and that our souls might be lightened from that which we have chosen to leave behind here today. Make our journeys ahead a little easier, a little lighter. May we cast off those anchors. May it be so, and amen. And please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. If you also wish to be like the trees or the streams or the dandelion who bows its head to the subtle breeze, unleashing its future without fear or loss, may it be so. And may we drop our anchors that keep us from the lives that we wish to live, from being who we want to be. May we sail out of our own dark harbors, following the lights that we set ablaze here today to find a place of life and love in the new year. May it be so, and amen. Please join us downstairs for coffee hour and I'm serious take-home a poinsettia. Grab any of them on your way out. Oh, the call to ministry. Please join us in our call to ministry. Thank you. We go forth into the world in peace to act with works of love, to affirm each person's dignity, and to cherish the living earth. What an important message. I can't believe I forgot it. Thank you so much.